that's something we're not even worried about right now. We are worried about UT Martin. Come on. We were worried about the first game and then the next game and the next day. We are not worried about a three-peat. That's not what we're focused on. We are focused on winning today and attacking the day today. I know everybody wants to talk about the three-peat, but that's not what we're focused on. We're just focused on getting ourselves better. Getting ourselves better. That was Marcus Rosenjack Saint, who met with reporters on Thursday night, and I can't. No, it was Tuesday night, and okay, you're focused on UT Martin, which is exactly what should be said. And all this, I mean, UT Martin stands about as good a chance of beating Georgia as I do going and being the starting quarterback there. So that's not happening. But this is correct. You cannot focus on something you don't, have any sort of real control over right now. We don't know what the future holds for this program in October. We're so far away from it, but there will be a time when that three-peat is on the line. I'm just going to say that right now. I mean, maintaining focus on today is absolutely important for the team. I don't play for Georgia. I cover Georgia. And the fans don't play for the team. The media doesn't, so the team can't control what everybody says or talks about or whatever like that, but it's a very real thing. And it's a long way from even being in the universe of happening, but it's out there. You know who cannot repeat? Alabama, Ohio State. You know who can't three-peat? Alabama, Ohio State, everybody else, the Gators. They can't. They can't three-peat, so to speak, until 2026. Georgia can do it right now. So, 2025, I guess. But we are at a crossroads in college football history right now. There's a lot going on right now that just didn't happen even 12 years ago when Texas A&M and Missouri made their way into the SEC. I mean, we have a college football playoff now that's about to expand to 12 teams. We have conferences that are aligning in ways that we thought about in college in the 90s, but didn't, never really. We tried to make it make sense, and I can assure you we never had UCLA and SC in the Big Ten or Washington and Oregon, but here we are. And the halves have always been the big deal in college football. In the 90s, it was Nebraska and the Gators and Tennessee, Florida State. And the have-nots have always struggled to get there. Right now, the haves, Georgia, are really taking advantage of their situation, trying to win a third title in a row. You should take advantage of this offer I've got for you. Right down below, you sign up for Dog Post right now. You're going to get our 2023 preview at no charge. It's free. We're going to send it to you. We're also going to give you a t-shirt from Red Zone. We're also going to give you 20% off any item on Red Zone's online store. Our friends at Red Zone on Clayton Street. Now go visit them when you come to Athens. You don't need to go to some corporate place that, these are folks who are in Athens. They own it. They live there. These are local business owners. Red Zone, okay? 20% off any item on their store. What else is free? Well, if you order Double Dogs, I will give you a month for free when you sign up down below. But take advantage of it because we're running out. I mean, I've been talking about it. I don't just make this stuff up. We have about 10% of these remaining of our stock. And so they will be gone, I can assure you, very soon. So take advantage of that while you can. But college football is at an inflection point. Collegiate athletics is too. And because of college football. And, what has been, which is the domination of not just the SEC, but Alabama particularly, we that's not the case anymore. And, when Alabama won back-to-back national championships in 11 and 12, and in a way should have won it in 13, but didn't, but certainly should have played for it. When Alabama did that, it was a 1-game scenario. In one of those years, they didn't even play for the SEC championship. They won the other at the SEC championship by the last play of the game, on the last play of the game. That's not where we're at anymore. So you've got to go through, and usually, not all the time, win your conference. Although TCU didn't win it last year, Ohio State didn't win it last year, Georgia didn't win it in 21. So you don't have to win your league to get in the playoff. But at that point, you do have to win 2 games. There's no way around that part. So that's going to be the challenge moving forward. Is now you got to win 3 or 4 games, whatever the number is. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's not fewer than 3, and in the playoff, and that's going to be tough, man. But the shift from Alabama to Georgia eastward is I can't tell. I'm not smart enough to know if this is the end of Alabama or not, or the beginning of the end. I don't think Alabama's going to go with Nick as their head coach the next 5 years and not win a national championship, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Georgia cannot win it all. Excuse me. Georgia is the only team that can win a three-peat this year. Now, the difference is that 23 is going to be different than 22, the way that 22 is different than 21, and 23 is going to have almost nothing to do with 21. I mean, going into 21, the notion was that the 2 dominant programs in the country, Clemson and Alabama, were still hanging around. Well, a lot's changed since then. I would not call Clemson a top 5 team right now. Certainly, a lot of people don't have them in the top 9, so they're certainly a top 10 team. Alabama this is the first season since 2015 that Alabama did not get a first place vote going into the year from the AP. Now, they won the national championship that season. Are you betting that they win it this season? They're the number 2 bet. Maybe it's not such a dumb bet. I don't know. I mean, but we've seen we don't know what Texas coming into the league will mean. We don't know what Oklahoma coming into the league will mean. We don't know, what Oregon and UW and USC and SC, SC and UCLA going into the Big 12, the Pac-12. The Big 10, the Big 16, Big 18, we don't know what that will be like, okay? And we don't know if college football has just changed fundamentally and all that's over or not. But we know that right now all that can be controlled is what practice is like today, what scrimmage is like on Saturday. All of these things, it's going to be curious to see where we go from here. But they're not going to be able to win it all in August. I don't think you can lose it in August necessarily if you're Georgia. Maybe you could some other people. I even doubt that. But you're going to win this thing on the field in September, October, and November. And then, obviously the biggest weekend of the year before the playoff is that first week of December, man. I mean, everybody's freaking out the whole time. It's a whole thing. So you have to prepare and build yourself towards that future, to what the future will be. And it can't be, you can't go full Luke Skywalker, right? I mean, that was Yoda's criticism, incorrect, of Skywalker, which was that, or Luke Skywalker specifically. I think his criticism of Darth Vader was that he was a villain, a very evil villain, perhaps poorly constructed at times. But you don't want to be in another land or another world. And I think that's what happens a lot, with that can happen. I don't want to say that happens a lot, but that can happen in sports, and in life too. But the reality is, if you build today, your structure will be built tomorrow. And that's what this team and program have to do. And we're going to see if they do that. I mean, everybody's talk. The talk is great right now, but they're going to have to do it. And that's going to be a real challenge for sure.